Hard as it is to believe, this is episode 161 of our Your Next Level Masterminds. And we haven't missed too many weeks in doing this, okay? And we now call our masterminds Resourceful Retail Rebels. And each week we have a weekly star. And this evening's star is Brian K. McNeill. And we'll get back to him later because you can't miss him. There's no doubt about that. But in the meantime, what I'd like everyone to do is watching this particular session on replay. And now we've got nearly 3,000 subscribers, right? I'm getting up there. I want you to reach out to these people and make sure you talk to them. I do not want you to reach out to them and check them out. That's not good enough. Okay? These people are here to help you. And sure, they're in business, but they don't want anything to do with you unless you are the right sort of business for them. And more importantly, you don't know who they know. And you don't know what doors of opportunity they can open for you. You don't know what sort of skills they can give you. You don't know the connections they can give you. All these things are unknown to you. And yet here they are, Janet, Brian, Fred, John, Dan, Mark, Alan, Jeff, Santa Claus in his suit and all, and Joy. They're all here, ready and willing to talk to you. Free, gratis, and for nothing. We should be charging you for this, right? But you're getting free access. So all I'm saying you to do is this. Underneath this video, there is a link that every single one of these people will put in where you can book a time to talk with them. I do not want you to be hesitant in reaching out to people you think, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know Dan Fox very well. Jeff Veal, I'm not sure about him. He looks too damn big from the Philippines. Whatever, okay? Forget that. You reach out to them and make yourself known to them, and you may be pleasantly surprised with the opportunities they've got available for you. And they will help you. Because, to be quite frank with you, we live in a world that is highly skeptical, uncertain, competitive, and extremely stressful. And yet here are people who are prepared to sit back and give you valuable time to help you grow your business and yourself and heal you. If you want to talk to Janet about healing, she's got patches to do everything, right? Whatever it is, do not miss this opportunity. If you're in the marketing game, we've got more marketing ideas from Fred Gillen up there, and he can list them off until you go to sleep, right? And surely one of them will make you $1. There's no doubt about that. Or you can talk with someone like Jeff Veal. Jeff Veal has been in marketing for more than half a century, right? I didn't want to say 50. Oh, I just said 50 years anyway, right? You've been in business for a damn long time. Dan Fox been in business for a long time. John Allen's been in business for a long time. Joy, they all are very experienced in what they do, which means they know what they're doing. They know what it's all about. They can tell you at a glance what sort of things that you need to be looking at, but they will let you tell them the story. So please don't miss this opportunity of reaching out to these people. They are too good to be true. And they give up their time every second or every Wednesday to do this for you. They're not getting paid to do this. This is free for them. They're not getting paid to talk to you either. It's free for you. Don't miss that combination. It's too good. All right? Please don't do that. So without any further ado, I want to start by letting them introduce themselves for a moment, and then we'll get back to the start of the show. We'll start with you, Fred. Fred Allen, followed by John Allen. Fred Gillen, sorry, followed by John Allen.
I'm getting confused then, John. Alan, Michael, sorry, Steve. Hi, guys. My name's Fred Gillen. I run a digital agency called More Marketing Ideas. And the reason I penned that name was because that's what I do. I give businesses more marketing ideas. And everybody needs more marketing ideas. It doesn't matter whether you're a business coach, whether you're an electrician, or whether you're a plumber. you need more marketing ideas. And if you want more marketing ideas, one of the easiest things to do is to Google more marketing ideas. And when you Google more marketing ideas, guess what? You'll find me, because I run more marketing ideas and I help you get more marketing ideas. So if you want more marketing ideas, all you got to do is reach out and I'll give you more marketing ideas. Now, if you don't know the name of my business by now and how to connect with me, well, I'll just give you one more marketing idea. That's me, Fred Gillen, more marketing ideas.
Thank you, Fred, very much indeed. John Allen, followed by Joy Healy.
That's a tough act to follow, more marketing ideas. Hi, everyone. I'm John D. Allen's Small Business Coaching. I mentor coaches in how to solve three of their biggest problems. The first one is how to identify their prospect's real problem and then get the prospect to own it. That's a major problem for a lot of people. The second one is how to end the chasing game forever. I don't know if any of you have ever had somebody you talk to, you give a great presentation, get all done, and they say, gee, John, that's great. I'll call you in a couple of weeks. And then you're off and running on the chasing game. End that game once and for all. You're never going to win it. They can run faster than you ever will. And now they just ghost you. So end that chasing game once and for all. And the third one is how you can add 48 to 75K to your bottom line, not to your gross revenue, but to your bottom line. If you're interested in learning how, give me a call. My information's here. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much, John. Good. Bottom line is all about, right? That's what it's all about,
Yep.
the bottom line. Joy Healy, followed by Brian McNeill.
Hello, I'm Joy Healy, an affiliate marketer from Norwich in the United Kingdom. I tell affiliates who aren't yet earning commissions about the outright lies that newcomers face when they first come online. Particularly, I warn them against the falling for the myth of making money effortlessly. It just doesn't happen. But I've just joined a brand new program that shows new affiliates what they need to learn to have multiple streams of income. That way, if there's a problem with one, the others will continue. And eventually you can reach the situation where commissions drip in from many different places. My new training program shows several ways how to implement this, and you'll find that and some of my income streams on the link in the chat. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, Brian McNeill, followed by Glenda Kroll.
Good morning, everyone. I so look forward to seeing your faces in these boxes every Wednesday morning. My name is Brian K. McNeill. I'm the CEO of a company called Sales Confidence Coaching. I figured it out this morning. I've been in this industry for 33 years now, and 32 of those years I've been teaching people how to sell better. And I've studied this game, and I really want to say that I am an advocate of the evolution of how sales are made, because they're not made today the way they were made in the 90s. But anyway, I'm looking forward to being the featured speaker today. I'm so excited that Joy Healy made the comment, the myth of making money effortlessly, because I preach against that all the time, and it's too prevalent out there. So we'll have fun today. Good morning.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian. Glenda Kroll, lovely to see you, followed by Alan Edwards.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here. My name is Glenda Kroll, and I'm coming to you from Toronto, Canada. And for me, my life mission is to help women 40 plus to rebuild their lives from breakdown to brilliance and transform you from your struggles into your strength. Learn to conquer and take hold of the confidence that's buried deep down through the struggles that we go through. But now I also want to help you to build your wealth as well. So I have now put together a program that in 90 days will help you buy your first investment property. It's time to take hold of the struggles that you've had and build them into your strengths. I'll put my link in the bio, and please make sure just to reach out and give me a call if there's something that I said that's making you even wonder. Give me a call and let's talk. Thank you.
Good idea. Well done, Glenda. Thank you very much. Alan Edwards, followed by Jeff Veal.
Hi, Peter. Hi, everybody. I'm Alan Edwards. I'm based in Hampshire in the UK. I'm a property investor and developer, and we transform property value. So what does that mean? It means that when you see, for example, offices that are empty or partially empty, shops that are closed down with empty uppers, we take those relatively low value commercial buildings and we convert them into high value residential buildings. And why should you deal with us? Because we'll give you the best price for your property. We act fast. We get the best improvement in value on the property. And we're totally ethical in the way we deal with all our customers. So if you'd like to contact me, my details are in the chat box. It's very easy to contact me on calendly.com/AlanJE by phone or by email. Cheers for now.
Thanks, Alan. Put that in the chat box.
Yeah.
Good. Jeff Veal, followed by Mark Engster.
Jeff is on mute.
Mute.
It was so good too. I'll go again.
I'll believe anything.
I'm Jeff Veal, the business guru from downtown Manila in the Philippines, guys. The virtual assistant capital of the world. So reach out this month and we'll give you a virtual assistant totally free. Normally $495 for us to find them, recruit them, train them, buy them $1,000 laptop, put them in my office, buy them pizzas on Friday, take them away every 4 weeks. We do all that for you for free. You only pay from $15 a day if you want one of our wonderful VAs to help you grow your business. Thanks very much, guys.
You take them away every 4 weeks.
We do. The top performers, I pick the 3 top performers and we go away somewhere nice. We just been to a beach resort. All the photos are on our Facebook. We went to a beach resort for 3 days.
Good stuff. All right.
A free VA too. Jesus.
Yep.
Make sure you put your contact details in, Jeff, because that is an offer. That's
They're all there. I can't stay very long, guys. I have a call coming up soon, but I'll stay as long as I can.
Okay. Mark, go. Over to you.
Yeah, I'm the founder of Strangers Community. It's a not-for-profit based here in New Zealand, and we're globally focused, and we're helping other charities to become self-reliant as well. And one way we're doing it is offering our services as well, and we'll help to sell your products, services for you, supply you with virtual assistant services as well. We have training courses for you, become one of our sales coaches, become your own boss, training programs. We have like business franchises for you, and we'll work with you or do it for you, depending on which package you like. So reach out. We monetize your YouTube channel for you. We'll help to grow all your social media channels. So just reach out if you want to speak.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mark. Dan G. Fox.
Howdy, y'all, from Houston, Texas. Dan G. Fox here. Pleasure, honor to be among such great people today. I got started online marketing in 1996 as a side hustle. And I spent a lot of money and made little money trying to get to where I wanted to get to. And one of the downfalls that I found is there were a lot of people that said, let me show you the way to really do well on making money online. And I'd give them money to coach me, and I'd lose money following them. And so one of the things that I decided once I reached the level where I could be full-time is that I was going to help people learn how to make money online without ripping them off. And so I work with people who are struggling online to make money. They've been trying this and trying that and trying this and trying that. And so I mentor them to get to the point where they feel strong enough to start making money online. There's so many folks out there that are just taking people's money and not really providing really good services to them. So I help them to do that. Again, in the make money online niche is what I work with affiliate marketing and network marketing online.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Let me double check. Sandra, do you want to say anything or you just want to be quiet?
I think I'm going to be quiet this week.
Okay. And Janet, the same?
Well, I'll give it a go.
Okay, up to you. I'm giving you the choice.
Okay. So my name, I am Janet Pacelli, coming to you from St. Augustine, Florida, and my throat may be a little scratchy. Started with this sore throat yesterday. So I'm an affiliate marketer for super patches. What are super patches? In all honesty, it seems magical that our skin can perceive, absorb, and process these invisible, massless things that cannot be held, felt, or touched. But our skin is designed to process all of these and more. So when it comes to our patches and technology, we must know that and believe that our skin is sensitive and smart enough to detect the ridges on the patches that stimulate the skin to generate signals our brain and body understand. Our technology and patches are more real than light, magnetic fields, heat and cold. Our patches and the ridged patterns like Braille for the skin, they can be seen, touched, and felt. So what does all of this mean for you? These 2x2 patches placed on your skin can help with pain management, balance, stamina, stability, metabolism. What product do you know that you can put on your skin and still eat, not have to change anything, and burn 25% more calories even in your resting state? So if you or anyone you know would like to give these a try, I can send you samples. And what have you got to lose, right? Isn't it time that you felt super today? Thank you. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, everyone.
And thank you. You did a good job because you can't talk too well. Well done. Well done. Proud of you. Olga, good evening, good morning, sorry, I should have said good afternoon over there. Over to you. What about you, Olga?
Hello, and it's so great to be here. And my apologies, I'm running late today. My day is busy, but it's so good to hear and to see you all. And Janet, I actually today had a conversation with somebody about these patches, and I was like, whoa, I'm in. I'm waiting for my pack now. So I'm looking forward to explore it, because anything that can help us to hack the mind in order to be better, I'm all for it. But I'm just so grateful to be here. Peter, you run an absolutely fantastic mastermind. So thank you so much for doing such a great job. Seriously, thank you.
My indeed pleasure. I've just got your message. Sorry I'm running late, but we'll be joining you. I am so pleased to hear, Olga. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, before we get to our star of the day, our apologies are from Yvonne Jones, Penny Kennedy. I had you down, Anthony, but you're here now, so I'll let you go, all right? And Pat Kern. Pat's in Mexico somewhere, and he's trying like mad to get an internet connection, but he just can't make it work. So with that in mind, I have great pleasure in passing the floor over to our resourceful retail rebel star of the week, Brian K. McNeill. The floor is yours, my man.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I just picked up my cell phones because I'm going to time myself, and I'm going to be respectful to your time. You know, watching Pat Dreyer and Dan Fox give their talks on here, I learned some things. And I decided to tell my story today with this time that I have. And I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My name is Brian K. McNeill, and I'm the CEO of a company called Sales Confidence Coaching. But I was born in Brooklyn, New York, in the East New York section of Brooklyn. Now, the East New York section of Brooklyn was not a prosperous community. It was next door to the projects, okay? We lived in a 4-story walk-up is what we lived in. And that's what I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. My elementary school was at the end of my block. I never even had to cross the street. But the church we went to was pastored by my Uncle Jerry, and it was called the Mercy Seat Baptist Church. And I was there every Sunday. I was the oldest of 4, and I would walk my 2 younger sisters to church, and it was like 20 blocks away. Every Sunday I had to walk them to church because my parents didn't go, but they made sure we was there every Sunday because my Uncle Jerry was the pastor and my Aunt Helen was the first lady, and I loved going to church there. So I grew up as a church boy. I was a child deacon, and I would read the scriptures in church, and I loved that a lot. You know, I learned to love the Bible in church growing up in New York. But one of the things that about us, because I noticed even as a young child in Brooklyn, there was really nobody in my family that had a lot of money. None of us did. I never had more than 1 pair of sneakers at a time when I was growing up. So when I see my 9-year-old grandson with seems like 90 pair of sneakers, it just blows my mind. Okay, but I only had 1 pair at a time, and I only got another pair when that 1 pair wore out. That's it. That's how it went for me. So as I grew up, I went into the Army at age 17, and I was a good Army soldier. I did everything well. I did everything fast. I got promoted through the ranks real well because I wanted to do everything the best I could. Even before that, I was always the student that they called me, like in the 7th grade, they called me like Pops, because I was always kind of like be the dad, or kind of like everybody do everything the right way. I wasn't going to be prone to craziness. I wasn't going to do that. So I've always been like in charge. Even when I first went to the Army, like the first couple of days there, I got into a fight with somebody, and then they made me the squad leader. After my first couple of days, I was in charge of a group of guys, just because it seemed like just because I was willing to fight. That's what happened. But I've always was able to do that. But when I got out of the Army and I met a beautiful young lady and we got married, and we were so happy with each other. We both were in low-level management at a company. I was a front desk supervisor at a Courtyard by Marriott hotel. She was a retail store manager too. So we both were in low-level management. We were doing really well. And there was this one day my pretty wife showed up at my job, and she never showed up on my job, and says, "Brian, we're pregnant." And I was like, whoa, that's wonderful. And then I thought, oh gosh, I need more money than what I got here. And I've been hearing from people for a while, "Brian, you'd be great in sales. You'd be great in sales." And I didn't even know what that was. I was 22 years old. I didn't know what sales was. But people kept telling me that I'd be great at it. So my wife announced that we're pregnant. I knew I needed more money. People been telling me sales. So I looked in the newspaper in the help wanted section. This is 33 years ago. And I saw a job that in the sales section, I still didn't know what sales was. And it says, will train, entry level will train. And I knew I was entry level, and I said they're going to train me. And it was a straight commissioned sales job. Some of you guys know what straight commission means. Straight commission means if there's no selling or sales made, you don't get any money. Okay. Now the money you get was big when you got it. It was a home improvement company. But if you don't make sales, you don't get any money. Unless you do what they call go into the hole, where the company kind of fronts you some money. And then when you get your money, you pay them back. And they didn't train on selling. They only trained on how to measure a home and how to price a job, but no training on selling. Their training on selling consisted of hang in there, you'll get it. And I was horrible at this job for 8 months. And I was insecure, and I was losing, and I felt like a loser. And I'll never forget the day that changed my life. They sent me out of town on 2 sales calls. One was at 11 a.m., the other one was at 5 p.m. I only had like $5 for lunch at the time, and I didn't want to drive an hour and a half back to my city and then go back out to the city where my lead was. So I stayed there, and I went into a used bookstore, and I happened to end up in the business book section, and I picked up a book as if by Divine Providence. The book was called How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. I had never even thought there would be a book on how to sell. So I picked up that book and I read the intro and I sat there, and on page 4 of that book, it said, why you cannot fail in selling. And I needed somebody to tell me why I couldn't fail in selling. So when I read that, and it basically surmised, if you would just do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, in a disciplined way, you can't fail in the profession of selling. So I bought that book with my lunch money, so I didn't eat lunch that day. And I read that book, and I started turning pages of that book, and I started to get a little better at it. And then I bought another book, and I got a little bit better at that. The second book I bought was Secrets of Closing Sale by Zig Ziglar. The third one I bought was The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. And that book revolutionized my thinking, because it didn't give a lot of sales strategy, but it mentally prepared you to be great. And then I just kept going on from another and another and another, from one book to another book to another book. And as I turned pages, one of the books said you should read for 30 minutes to an hour before you go to work. And I started doing that, 30 minutes to an hour. I was so green and growing that anything that any book on sales said to do, I was going to do it. If it said stand on your hands for 30 seconds before you make your sales call, I would have did that, because my pretty wife was no longer working. I had to feed my baby and my wife and maintain a household. So I couldn't afford to not sell. The company I was with operated on what's called a one-call close system. A one-call close system was popular in the 90s. One-call close means they'll set up the leads for you, and they'll confirm the lead for you. And you go to the lead and you get one chance to make a sale, no matter how close you got. If you didn't get the sale that one time there, you don't get to go back. Somebody else has to go back. Even if they call the next day and says, we thought about it overnight, we want to go ahead and move forward with this project. They will send another salesperson, and the other salesperson will get all the commission that you earned. So it became very, very urgent that we learn to close sales and close hard. We would close anything. So I thought the key to being a great salesperson back then was being a great sales closer. So I started studying closes and studying sales closes. I read great book on sales closing, like The Art of Closing Any Deal by James W. Pickens. I learned great books, Secrets of Closing. I read great books on closing sales, and I got really, really good at it. So then they started promoting me through the company, and I became a corporate sales trainer. That means we had 17 offices. So that means I get to go from all 17 offices in North Carolina, Virginia, and just teach sales closing whenever I can get to them. Teach them sales closing methods. That's all I did. And every other week, that's what I did regularly. But every other week, I was giving a 9 to 5 class on how to sell. 9 to 9:50, 10-minute break, 10 to 10:50, 10-minute break on how to sell. That's what I was teaching. And whatever I was studying is what I was teaching. They gave me all kinds of carte blanche. So I've been teaching sales for a long time. And in '96, I got punched in the belly. This woman in one of my classes, because I had been hearing for a long time, Brian, this is the best sales training I ever had. This is the best sales training I ever had. I've been hearing that for a while. And I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I tried my best. But this one lady said, Brian, you keep talking about all these other books. Where's your book? And it hit me like a gut punch, because I didn't have a book. And I didn't even think about writing a book until she punched me in the belly. That was in '96, but my first book was published in 2016, 10 years later. I am the CEO of Sales Confidence Coaching, but I will tell you, it took me 4 tries to make this stick. I was in corporate America. I got confidence built up. I decided, why not hang my own shingle and teach people how to sell myself? And I launched into the deep. My first company was called Rhino Sales and Seminars. I was just going to train contracting companies. Rhino Sales and Seminars. Rhinos are my thing. I have rhinos in every room in the home. And I do a whole talk about rhinos and why they make great entrepreneurs and great salespeople. So the business, the first few months, skyrocketed. I made a lot of money right away. I made a bunch of sales, and then I had to start servicing what I sold. And my sales went lower and lower and lower and lower until they were gone. And I had to rush back into corporate America to maintain a mortgage. So I did. I tried and failed. I boasted my confidence again, and I tried again. Same thing happened. I made a lot of money and then less and less and less until it was all gone and I had to go back into a job. Tried it a third time, same thing happened. I had to fail again, failed 3 times to go into business for myself, but I didn't no longer want to work in corporate America. I wanted to do my own thing. I was dying in corporate America. I decided to try it again. I decided to try one more time. I launched out into my own business again. Same thing was happening. I made a lot of money and then less and less and less money. And then finally, I stood up in my living room. By this time, I was a single man by this time. And I had just a cat, me and my cat, Archie. And I said in my living room, Lord, I don't care what I lose. I'm not quitting this time. I don't care if they take my home, my car, my everything but the clothes on my back. I'm not quitting. And I had that personal conversation with my Heavenly Father. Tears in my eyes, my cat Archie sitting on the armrest of the chair as I was saying, I'm not quitting this time. On this rock I will stand. And later that week, I promise you, it was no more than a few days. I got a phone call saying, Brian, we have an event coming up this Friday. I know it's short notice, but it pays $2,500. Can you come and give a talk on selling? I was like, I can come, but I really needed that money then too. And I went and I delivered that talk. They paid me my $2,500 and that bolstered me. Now, since that time, I have all this journey I've talked to you about. I believe that I have been uniquely prepared. I have fallen in love with what selling is, but I have failed and succeeded and I've tried. By my own count, I've read more than 700 books on how to sell or manage salespeople or personal development. And that's easy for me to say that's a conservative number because several of the books I read more than one time. In 2012, I wrote a report called The 10 Greatest Books on Selling. And that kind of got me some celebrity because it was picked up in a few different magazines, The 10 Greatest Books on Selling. And then in 2017, I had to augment that because I added 2 of my books. My first book that was published in 2016, it was called The Shortcut, the fastest route to selling your services. This book was it was this book here, The Shortcut. It's only 74 pages. It just basically teaches entrepreneurs what to do with their time. What do you do on a Monday? What do you do on a Tuesday? How to sell by system instead by chance. And I was very proud of that book. But it doesn't cover how to overcome objections and close sales. So later that year, I wrote Asking for the Money. How anyone can close more sales, even you. This book here became an Amazon bestseller. Maybe the title was sexy or something. I don't know. But that book became bestseller. Asking for the Money. How anyone can overcome more objections, even you. So I like those 2 books. And I'm a dad as well. And I love children. And I've been telling this story for 20 years called Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople until my wife decided to put it in a children's book. It's metaphors. There was a book written in 1980 called Rhinoceros Success by a guy named Scott Alexander. And he's basically comparing rhinoceroses to cows, how a cow could spend his whole life in the same field. As long as it's got enough water and enough grass to eat, it's fine. Doesn't even wonder what's over the hill, whereas rhinos are not that way. So he had a whole bunch of things. And I saw a National Geographic special about rhinoceroses, and I learned how strong they are. And I learned that their skin is as deep as 2 inches thick in some places of their body. I learned how they have horrible eyesight. They can't see very well, but superior hearing. And I created that into a story, Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople. And I later augmented it, Why Rhinos Make Great Entrepreneurs. First off, they're physically strong, which I equate to being determined. They have amazing hearing, which I equate to being great listeners. They have very poor eyesight, which I equate to not even noticing little things that could get in the way. It's too hot, too cold, there's a bush in the way. They don't even notice that. They just keep going. But the last 2 things about the rhino in my story is the horns. Some rhinos have 1 horn. This particular one has 2 horns. But I use the horn to indicate your goals. This one has a little goal that it has to reach in order to get to its big goal. And the way a rhino's eyes are, they have to see past their horns. So they keep their goals in front of them. No matter which direction they turn, they still see their goals. And the last thing is about the way the rhino's legs work, because a rhino is physically unable to walk backwards. Their legs don't work that way. They can turn around, but they can't walk backwards. So I equated that as to when you go for your goal, the way a rhino would go for his goal, the only physical option you have is to continue forward until you reach your objective. That's what it is. So I spend my life thinking about how to help people to sell better. I continued writing, and right now I have published 6 books. One of them was Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople, which is a not just for children's book. And I wrote Why Rhinos Make Great Entrepreneurs. But last year, I published this book here, 932, the 9 most important words, the 3 most important skills, and the 2 most important questions, and features my character, Mr. Randall the Rhino. This is the 3rd book that he's featured in, Mr. Randall the Rhino. But the 9 most important words like courage and love and the word no and imagination. The 3 most important skills like the ability to communicate, the ability to lead, the ability to sell. And the 2 most important questions: what are you specifically here to do, and who are you here to serve? And I count this book as a not just for children's book as well, because I had 8-year-olds to 12-year-olds in mind when I wrote it. This book won a DAG Award, a Distinguished Authors Guild Award. So, and I actually have the award here. This is the award this book won, okay? So I'm happy about that too. I posted in our group, Your Next Level, I posted in our group 2 different covers because my latest book is at the publisher now, but I have urgency. I need to settle on a title. I thought the title was going to be Mastering Sales Language, but then my wife didn't like it as much, so I changed the title. So I posted 2 covers, and I'm asking for help, and the feedback I've already gotten this morning has been amazing. But I'm going to keep working this way. I'm going to stay in this game. I've got great friends. I've got great mentors. I've got great coaches. And now I've been exposed to another great community. Before I met John Allen, referred me to this group. John Allen persisted to get me in this circle. He asked me more than one time. And I'm grateful to John because I did not have this in my life until I got here. I didn't have this diversity. I didn't have these many people from all over the world. I didn't have this level of feedback and intellect and knowledge base until this circle. So even though I've only been here a short while, maybe a couple of months, maybe, but I found great value in coming here each Wednesday and listening to your stories. I'm so grateful for each one of you guys that I had a chance to have a one-on-one with. I am looking forward to having my one-on-one with Glenda Kroll. I think you're terrific, Glenda. I just love every time you talk. So I want to have a one-on-one with you. I don't know what my relationship with you guys is going to develop into, but I know it's going to be amazing. Peter Beckenham, thank you for being such a fantastic model for me. You're a model for me. I watch how you move. I watch how you follow up with me. I watch your patience with me and with everybody else. And I just think that's wonderful. So I'm learning from you guys all the time. I'm not as young as I may look, but I'm still consider myself in a really big learning mode. So that's my journey to where I am today. What do I want to do going forward? I want to continue speaking. I want to continue speaking, but on a bigger level. I like my game. I like getting on podcasts. I like becoming a featured speaker, but I want to speak more often on more and more platforms. That's where I want to go. I love traveling with my pretty wife. That's what we do. We do workshops. So my life right now is full. I am grateful that I am in a position now where we can give. My wife and I give a lot. If someone of our friends needs money or if they're in trouble, we can scholarship them. We can sponsor them. We have money that we can do that with. And that's, I had to get to this place. I have a dream that I want all of my children and all my grandchildren to live a life of entrepreneurship. That's what I want for them, because I believe that the entrepreneurial life, although it's fraught with ups and downs, it's fraught with pitfalls, it's fraught with pain and winning, I think overall it's a better life. So I have another personal ministry where I want us to all raise a nation of entrepreneurs. I want us to raise children that find their unique combination of gifts, skills, and talents, experiences, and leanings, and earn $1 with it. And I want to be helpful to that mission however I can. So I'm speaking more about that. So Peter gave me some time today, and I've only used 21 minutes of it, but I want to yield some time. I want to yield the floor back because I would like to have a conversation with you guys. Maybe one of you guys heard me say something that you have a question about, maybe, and I want to leave room enough to answer it and still be respectful to the room. And thank you very much for this time, Peter. Thank you guys for your attention. Brian K. McNeill, the Sales Confidence Coach.
Right, got a question.
Yes, sir.
Got a question for you. Do you believe, and I'm, from listening to you, that you've got to give more value than the cash that you charge? The people have to get more value out of you than whatever you're charging. And I believe that's, your biggest message. So
thank you, John. That's a great question, and it's a two-part answer. One is we're in a time right now where our biggest challenge as thought leaders and entrepreneurs is we have to lower our clients' risk. The expression of money easy come, easy go is only easy go. So no one lets go of their dollars without their risk being as low as they can. We're in a time right now because they get bombarded. Your clients all get bombarded with solicitations today, more so than they ever have been. So they're better at hearing people's presentations and dumping it. They're better at hearing descriptions of what you do and dumping it right away. So we have to lower their risk. And the way we do that now is we have to give value before we earn the right to ask for money. And we have to give good value before we earn the right to ask for money. It's always been a big trade. You're trading your big pile of benefits in exchange for the little pile of money. It's never going to be fair, but it has to come across as they're getting significantly more for their dollar than they would have if they had just kept their dollar. So I think it's twofold. We always have to give more value than what we dare ask for, and we have to lower the client's risk.
I agree with you 100% there. And the biggest thing is, like Peter talks about and everything else, trust is your biggest factor. People have to trust you. They can know you and like you later, but if they don't trust you at first, they're never going to do business with you. Would you agree?
And they will not trust you because of what you say today. It's not just what you say. And it's not even only what your testimonials say. You got to give them a test drive,
Actually, you know what, Brian? Very few people believe testimonials anymore anyway.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Brian, great talk, mate. I was
thank you.
Just listening all the time, which is unusual for me, but it was really good. The question I've got is, you mentioned in the talk that, the sales process has changed since the 90s, right? It's a lot different now.
Yes.
What's the most significant difference that you feel has happened over the last, 3 to 4 or 5 years, whatever it might be?
In the 90s, the salesperson had the advantage. They knew more than their clients knew, for the most part. Today, that's completely upside down. The people that you call on and sell today, they know as much, if not more, about what you're offering than you do. That one time, selling used to be more transactional, close the sale, but that's not the way to sell anymore. There used to be an adage that's very prevalent. ABC, always be closing, always be closing. And I believed in that at the time. That's completely false today. That won't work at all. At one time, we would try to close and overcome objections, and I knew more than 100 closes myself. And I would call it burning a lead, Fred. If they tried to commit the crime of not buying what I sold, that's what I called it. If they didn't buy from me, they were committing a crime, so I would burn the lead. That means I would practice on them all the closes I knew, keep my face decorated with a smile until they threw me out or I wore them out. But today, no one would tolerate that. You can't sell like that anymore. And you don't need 100 closes. I think you need 1 or 2. Also, today, it's not about always be closing. There's a new ABCs of selling. The A stands for attunement. Attunement. Can you see your services the way the client sees it? And is it easy to work with you? If someone wanted to work with you, do they have to go through loops? Do they have to, or is it easy for them? Do they get if they say they want to work with you, do you send them on a homework assignment? Go to my website and fill this out first, and then we talk to each other. Is it easy, or do you make it hard for them to work with you? That's the A, attunement. The B stands for buoyancy. Buoyancy. Can you do this? Can you keep your head when things are not going great? Can you stay afloat? Can you be buoyant in business? And the C stands for clarity, which is the major thing today when selling. Your clients today may know or they may not know, but your job as a thought leader is to help them to clarify. I used to think when a client will reach out to me, an insurance agency would say, Brian, my guys don't close well. Our closing percentages are down. We need help with closing. And I would go to that office and I would give a workshop on the 4 chances you get to overcome an objection, a 5-step process of overcoming any objection, and the 2 greatest sales closes that you need. Thank you, Olga. But that was wrong. They used to feel good about it. Now I've learned to ask a clarifying question. How many times you guys even ask for the business? They didn't have a problem with closing. They weren't making enough offers. Today, our job is to make it very, very clear what the real problem is, not just what they think. That's why questions matter more than ever.
And quite often, people don't even know what their problem is, Brian.
Right, or they think they know. But it don't take long to figure out.
Tell me, if you were to be asked, who would be your ideal client, seeing you are the sales confidence coach, right? So what would the ideal client for you look like?
Great question again, Peter. Now, I've had the most fun probably and success with companies that are within the financial services industry, where they have insurance agency and they have insurance agents. I like those myself because I understand it has to be sold with a story and they have a typical problem. They're trying to sell with their brains instead of with their hearts. I like those. Also, lately, in the last 2 years, I've had wonderful success with coaches and all kinds of coaches, life coaches, business coaches, fitness coaches. I like them because they have to be sold through their story too. And with coaches, I can impact their money very, very fast. They can go from no sales or low sales to learning it within a month, what they do to get sales. And my testimonial letters are better from coaches because a lot of times they're in a place where they are nervous and afraid, like, oh my gosh, if I don't start bringing in money, I'm going to have to gulp real hard and go back into a job. And they don't want to quit their business. They don't want to quit their passion. So I help rescue them so they don't have to with immediately actionable methods and techniques. Mm-hmm. So I hope that answers your question, Peter.
It does. Thank you.
Intangible services are my forte. I don't want to train a car salesman, although I love them because they're in a profession. Stuff. I don't want to train you on things. I want to train people that sell something intangible, a service of any kind. That's what I want to work with.
Anyone else want questions for Brian? Because that's he's got some flavor, some passion, and some time. So make the most of him.
Brian, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations on so many levels. First of all, for being able to write so many books. Kudos to you. I'm very impressed, and that's one thing that I have to do moving forward. And for a great presentation today. I loved it. You're a beautiful speaker and very clear and precise. And, as I watch where our world is going and I see people now, the art of selling is, I come from a world of sales. I grew up in retail business. My whole life has been focused around sales. But what I see is people aren't selling anymore. And it's not the usual thing of selling. Just like you said, it's really starts with the connection and the story and understanding the people. So what do you say to the people that are out there now? Like my biggest pet peeve are the people that connect with you online, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, or whatever, and they don't even get to know you, understand you, or anything about you, and they're already selling before you don't even know who they are. They don't even know you. What do you have to say about that?
It's a challenge, Glenda. It's a challenge. It's very, very poor selling methods. They don't research you at all. First off, it's vain for them to approach you and offer something until they checked you out, because they can check you out. They can Google you, they can look at your LinkedIn, they can look at your stuff, they can go to your website. So when they call on you, like, it drives me nuts too. Hey, Brian, I'll help you get so many leads and blah, blah, blah. I probably get that twice a day. I don't want a bunch of leads. I think that's poor selling to get 50 leads a month. I don't want that. I said, oh, Brian, we'll help you make more sales. Did you even read my page at all? Okay. It's a problem. And it's even getting worse of a problem, Glenda, because of AI, because of artificial intelligence. It's easier for them to use poor selling methods because of artificial intelligence. But anybody who uses integrity, anybody who uses real selling methods is going, I'm of the belief they stand out. Good selling stands out, shining bright like a diamond, because there's so much poor selling out here. The other thing too, the biggest crime, most entrepreneurs today so much want to get away from the idea that they're salespeople, they won't even ask for business at all. They won't even ask. What they do today is good presentations. They'll do a good presentation and then what do you think of them? But that's not formally asking for the business. That's not asking, will you give my services a try? So there's so much weak selling going on, and there are so many wimpy entrepreneurs. So people that can help them to sell better, like my friend John and me, you know, I think and Peter, there's a place for us. There's a place for all of our ideologies. Plus, all of us have enough depth. We've been through in the game long enough. These 24-year-old gurus drive me nuts too, because they don't have enough depth for me. They don't know enough yet. They know surface stuff. They know what they've read. They know what they're watching the video, but they don't have enough depth of themselves yet. Okay. Hope that answers your question. And I see your hand, Alan. Mm-hmm.
Hi, Brian. Just wanted to say it was a great talk, and you're a great coach. I've learned so much from you just in two conversations. So from a non-salesperson to a sales expert, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I've enjoyed each time I've talked to you as well, Alan.
Okay, anyone else?
You know, that's why they're calling you the greatest sales coach in the world, right, Brian?
I guess so. And I want to be that. I stay in my game. I honor and respect what I do. And every time I get a chance to, I want to improve that situation. No one studies it more than I do to this day. You know, I study everybody, and I run it through my filter, because I recognize a lot of great sales coaches and sales speakers, and I think my stuff is better. But of course I do, okay, because it's mine. Right?
Like Peter said to you a few weeks ago, Brian, you know, tell the world you're the best.
Yep. Claim it.
It's your
Don't
opinion,
wait for anybody.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because nobody else is going to tell you.
Title, Brian. Nobody else is going to give you that title.
And I received you. I received you when you said it. Right. I receive it. I receive it.
So
yes,
you're the world's greatest coach or the sales confidence coach? Which one?
The world's recognized authority on selling services.
Okay, well, we're evolving, aren't we?
Yes, but I like them all. Okay, so
Brian,
this has been an honor, huh?
Can you put your? I'd love to arrange a time you and I can talk. But you can put your link in for others to reach out to you through this talk, so that other people can get to know you. So can you put your link in the chat there?
Yeah, I did earlier, and today is at the top, but let me put it in again.
I don't see it.
Is at the top, but I'm gonna copy it instead of leaving you guys. I'm gonna just copy it and put it back down there again. Where the heck is it? But yeah, here it is. Just copy everything, and because every week, Glenda, I will tell you, I say to myself, I need to connect with her, and I let myself get caught up in the busyness of my life. So, but I want to. Yeah,
I get it. Me too.
But I got my LinkedIn, my websites, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, although I hardly ever go, and a calendar link from there. All of that. Mm-hmm. And my phone number too. So
Okay, everybody.
I want to be on podcasts with you guys too, because I want to have a conversation. I think a conversation with me and Glenda, or me and John, or me and any of you guys that have a podcast, I think will be dynamic. And I'm looking to connect with dynamic brains.
Well, let's do it, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. On behalf of everybody, Brian, thank you very much for a really good presentation. I mean, if you can keep Fred Gillen awake at this time of the day, you're doing a hell of a job, right? So all I want to say on behalf of everybody here, congratulations, well done to the greatest coach in the world, and I wish
Sales
you
coach, yes,
continued success. And I'm looking forward personally to our conversations coming up too, because we're going to do some magical things together as well.
Yes.
So thank you again. God bless you all, and see you same time next week. Okay.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Brian.
Bye.
You were phenomenal. And
Thank
everyone, keep shining, everyone. Keep shining.
Say it one more time. I've got it turned off here.
Keep shining, everyone. Keep shining. Oh.